Hi guys and welcome back to another video on the wrestling review of the annual the caramel wafers been eating the packet of Walkers tomato ketchup the crisps have been demolished got the cherry tango at the red day. And now it's time for our NXT review. Um, so overall, I enjoyed the show again. Not as good as last week, but that is to be expected. We did get some good moments on this show though, and yeah, so let's get into it. So to start us off, guys, we had Jada Parker, we had, no, we had Izzy Rain, sorry, versus Zaria. And this match I thought was good, very hard hitting, um, very hard hitting, good opener. Tatum Paxley came out mid to be through to get a closer look. Z- Um, um, Ian couldn't find their thunder struck kick. That it took two years and an F5 from the area to get the win. She attempted to hit another F5 in the rain, but Tatum's like, no, that's enough. Off. You get one a shot, so but you can have it next week. Um, at my north for me, American title. Um, so yeah, that's fine. Later on in the uh, later on in the show, sorry. Tatum Paxley, he was attacked by the area to the horror of Shiloh Hill, um, who um, who was talking to Paxley and said about the NXT pageant with Tristan Angels to get a hype trailer or for, because that's next week. I mistakenly said that was on this week's episode, but you go watch my vids, guys, some more for you. Then we get to the second offering. It was supposed to be the killing, and no, it was supposed to be Dark State, sorry, and it was supposed to be Dark State versus Miles, but on TV on Heights, which we'll get to in a sec, but we do get a backstage segment of we did we get a nice backstage segment of TV on Heights, and Miles born with EK Pro or Spurring Tyler I of e of Sean Wig, say sorry, and Dorian Van Dukes Heights gives the Heights gives Wig saying Van Dukes a pep talk. Guga, I should go back to I wouldn't like me and mama. Like me and mama. I use what alternate. Right, so he's hyping up not only my I use but Van Dukes and all. Say, so the arc statement they're in, mm, so the arc statement they're in, but they're attacked by Saquon Sugars. He has a receipt from like 2 weeks ago after being of um kicked out of the arc state by the rest and the members. He takes out Cutler, James. So then the match gets postponed till later on in the evening. That gets moved to the second hour, so we get the Cullen versus um. So we get the Cullen versus OTM. I say Dame the as Sean Spears and Nikova and a pep talk. She said, what the hell was that one? Asked the club was supposed to, I was supposed to pick NXT Women's Champion new to he announces control with a tag division. I'll put be in NXT with Women's Champion in the back, but I'm not from the I'll be used to need to deal with OTM and advances with uh, and Van says well there's no other choice. Come on, spear so let's get oh and I have to actually say as a Dame looks hot in these sort of cowgirl um, chaps. She is, my God, what a babe she is. Um, but on, but it has a lot working and so, yeah, so that's the take control for much of the match. They work on Bronco Ina by shoving me Ina into the steel steps, and then it's up to Ice to get momentum when if his offense OTM get the and with the double team maneuver and the paying your dues to Spears. I think Dame looks horrified. Vance looks disgusted as Sean Spears takes the pin. So it's obvious we're going to get an overthrow of Spears' head to the Cowan. As he's kind of more, as he's kind of more the man. mastermind of it. You've got Vance as a heavy, and Spears is kind of like the washed up member of the team that always jobs out and fucks up at the moment. So I expect Sean Spears to be kicked out by the other two. And like, if I had Dizzy Dame on my team, the last thing I'd want to do is disappoint her, if you get my drift. Um, Sean is probably pushing himself right now as he's watching this on the playback. Um, but since we're recording, I can't see into the future, but it probably is. Um, so then So then we get a backstage segment of EK Prosper and Tyler Wilder having a um having a conversation about Tyler's reckless So EK actually, he says, you might be my boy, but I can't be there every week to hold your hand. Is after he gets washed by Carver or last week. Then you've got Cam Hendricks who says, EK, you're reckless and you're going forward to Jackson Drake tonight, because that's who he was up against in this episode. Um, so he go, so Tyler Wilder goes off uh, for a pair for his match, and then Cam Hendrick says it's a big night for you tonight as well. You get to watch me become, uh, you get to watch me become NXT champion. Hendricks is kind of this cocky new guy. Um, so yeah, that's good. But Oscar then responds with, I hope Tony did get extra ass tonight, Hendrix. So yeah, that's all fine. Then you get, then you get, uh, um, the, 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 then you get, then you get to Jackson Drake versus Jake Wilder. This match had a bit of interference from the Vanity Project. Um, Drake, Smokes, and Bale are accompanied by Jackson Drake's new skill. He's Michael Lockwood. And I have to actually say for a China is um for a China esque woman to be partnering around with somebody that has basically not got a pick on him. If I can actually say that, is actually quite a fun idea. The other two members of the Vanity Project look more on Jack than him. So it just feeds into more of the storyline. As I've said, the Lockwood is very low. Lockwood is very China-esque. So yeah, that's fine. Um, then you get Tate Wilder are coming out, and the two have a decent match. I'll give Jackson Drake that. But the finish of the match actually sees Tate Wilder or Bale or Smoke says then on a roll he looks to put away Jackson Drake but is the end taken uh, um but is then taken out rammed in the steel post and slammed in the ring apron knocks him out. Jackson Drake hits a pretty decent 4 um, Warfare after to pick up the war and yet another war and for Jackson Drake, but equally, another defeat for Tate Wilder. I don't think he's won on a match yet. I don't know if it's leading to a heel turn from Tate Wilder. Maybe he turns heel on EK Prosper or eventually, but he's taking chances and gets eaten every single match that he has. Um, oh, Later on, um, later on he does or Charlie and Carver are in the medical but we'll get back to that we'll get back to the medical room later on. Um, so Robert Stone has a conversation with Mason Rook, and basically he tells Rook not to get involved in the match, but Rook says Hendricks cut the line and he wants an opportunity to be and he wants an opportunity to be number one contender. Stone actually makes a match for next week. Now Naruto Naruto versus me Cinderella and our faces only the American Bash, but he's don't get involved or it is like okay, you can trust me, um, but we'll know how that goes. Um, but another incident involving Albert Stone goes he's in his office talking to the law of the law, Emily Haig about the Great American Bash PLE being on the CW network. Um, Arias together often interrupts Stu on um and he says, what about sugar? Or his attack on sugar his attack on Cutler or our matches postponed because of that. Stone actually says, well, maybe if you didn't attack, Sugar the way you did, but Dion will end up to be your tag partner for later on. Jasper Troy, Jasper Troy comes in and arrives there often says to Troy what you looking at, and he says you want to start with me. How about how about I challenge you to a match next week? And Dion Lennox comes in with a steel chair and attacks him. The remaining two members are Dark State will leave Troy in a heap. And yeah, that's it. End the segment. Good segment here. The feed cut us out from inside Stone's office a couple of times. I like the chaotic nature of I like the chaotic nature of it. Um, so then you get you get Lola advice out to a promo. She says, no, and I'll take the title over Omar. She's the woman and stepping up for her show. It's because it makes the title of something. Um, she says, she conquered Apple on year, and Apple is coming up. Um, or, and then she's interrupted by Kalani Jordan. Kalani Jordan's like, how come they all of you, and how come you're all out to go or someone here else in the when I was TNA or coach champion, I get kicked out the our room and disrespected by you in the other double. I mean, she then said she went to TNA to prove herself and to prove she can be a world champion and she was a knockout champion. She did to that. But Ice actually, but Ice actually said you were only TNA knockout champion for about a minute. Till Annie then repel eyes back to Low. That she's tapped out both of her and Kendall and both her and Kill Aaron releasing weeks and um she she feels it's time she would order. So out comes Kendall Ray and Ray. and kill. Yeah, she says to Will, me and you have got some unfinished business, and kill, and Kilani after what you did to me, but is for the and I've not forgotten. Um, how Annie get on them, and she's kinda happy about the damage she's done to Ren. She says she's next, though, but Vice actually says, I've had enough for this. Here's what we're going to do. You two can face each other next so you can know another gets me a great American Bash. I think this is going to end up in a double decision, even a triple threat match, because both all three don't like Low. Uh, Despite Kendall being a face, she holds a lot of resentment to Low, who's also a face, and you get Killer Annie, who's a bit of heel. Killer Annie tries to be smart. She does grab the title of Lola as a woman. Is the ice goes to hit Killer Annie, but Jordan moves out the way and she hits her dancing kill. Yeah, Kendall Gray goes off on not at that. Um, and yeah, so backstage in the medical room, you do actually, you do actually see Kendall say I'm sorry for what happened out there. I really wanted you during the corner for next week, or and said I know and I appreciate it, but she says she needs to focus on her recovery anyway, and to um you need to beat Kill Annie on our own. So nice pep talk here. Um, so so pretty decent promo. For some reason, for some reason, oh, well, each report give this, to give this only a C. I'd give it a B, to be honest, because it was better than what they graded it as. But then you get, um, to the men's speed, championship match, or X is king of the birthright, accompanied by the rest of the members, takes on Romeo, or Romeo, Areno, very fast paced, out in it's a 5 minute timer, it's speed championship matches. Marino had it shown. It takes out um it takes out honors and he takes out um and he takes out Sparks. Um again with all of these gorgeous women at ringside, Ariana Grace looked absolutely gorgeous last night. She was out there and like I think in stacks as a lucky man. I'm so gonna get myself cancelled at this point. But yeah, who years. With 26, with 26 seconds remaining on the clock, in catches Marino and the coronation swinging neck breaker and retains the speed championship. A really good outing from Marino. A somersault pull Onja took out Dixon and Stacks, who is the fiance of Ariana Race, and those two are faction members Alexis King along with Ariana Grace. Charlie Dempsey was nowhere to be seen. Marino really to King with drop kicks and fast-paced storm drags in this match. He was accompanied by No1. So yeah, there's that as well. But Marino comes up short in the end. I know Exus King retains his championship, so he can still call himself the King of Speed. So that was um that was an okay match. As I've said before, I'm not too I'm not too I'm not too keen on the speed. I'm not too keen on the speed championship. It makes opponents look good. Usually, um, and sorry, I made the mistake here. Yeah, it was EK Pro Oscar that offered to fight Arthur backstage and Edico as obviously Tate is banged up after the match with Jackson Drake. Tate Wilder as mouth got him in trouble. Um, I and so that's how that came about. Then you get trade up. So we've already discussed the Kendall Array and the Renson kill. Your discussion um, earlier on. Then you get the confrontation between Jada Parker and Natalia. Um, Backstage in the locker room, you see, you can hear Jada say to Natalia, I don't appreciate being called, I don't appreciate being called, so off, Natalia, um, uh, um, uh, uh, Oh yeah, I'm the top office here. Um, except War. I coming after me. At this I just prodigy or it was that's what after he can be he on a no timer. So Natty actually responds with, I'm not afraid of you, Jada. I've done everything there is to do, both in the main and Australia and done NXT. You don't intimidate me, and maybe you have go on soft. Nikita Lyons in the back, getting the was some people can take it, but they can't outrage as as and Armin Petrovic and Nikita Lyons have a lot of outrageous expense. So all very good did off and hopefully the match between Nashi and Jada that we're gonna get uh, is pretty good. Um so then you can get the main event so then you get um so so the and you get so and you get the tag match that we were supposed to get. So, or it's not the main event yet. Um, it's it's just Hawks. Mariah's got a friend and fellow Darks the member taking the Ace of Cuttle or James up against I was born into Avion Heights. A decent enough match, but ultimately Dark State get the double team move, and Heights is isolated from on, and that leads to the and about the tension between Miles Born and Avion Heights. Then, uh, then you get um then you get then you could get Sugar us then you get Sugar as a P in his heights and um on begin and stand to the defeat. Sugar shows up cover as the baseball bat is sending out another of on into Dark State, but Dark State will look pretty happy with the victory. Then you get the Dark State kill at where Sugar is kind of lost out etc. So that was that segment was and so then you get the main event between Avion Heights and Cam Hendricks. Now, Tony D'Angelo and Cam Hendricks, sorry. Hendricks hits a Showtime kick off the back gets a 2 count. The aerial Leon hits a DDT, hits expose the ball. Then Tony D hits back with a forgettable outlet suplex for Shimon Buster or Narok who is in the audience watching on. Um, Naroki is in the audience watching on. So then you get after a kill or a um um injury, it's Hendricks, that's another all-time kick again. It's another 2 count. Tony he hits his second to spine, but still off and gets so. And then the end after Hendricks kill or destroy by Mason or as Hendricks was on a chair, but Mason or stands on the chair, so Tony D attains, so he can now sit back. He can now sit back. I can actually watch Mason or McKinnon or if I cut out next week. Um, so the Heisman and Oz was a topic of discussion from Victor also from Booker T throughout this match. Despite Stodon laying down the law for is still got kind of interfering but in a non sort of physical capacity. Um, and so so Isaac ends another episode of NXT. I'm gonna give this an 8. I'm gonna give this an 8 out of 10. Pretty good show the so he lots of things happened. You have the Lansing ear accident, you have Sugar off on the warpath against the Ark State, you have Zarya eating Azere and then attacking Tatum Pat. So you have the NXT pageant next week, but in Shiloh, Helen Aston Angels. Um, I was on in TV on Heights come up short against Darks. Jasper Archer. I was also taken out by the Ark State and owns office. You have you have as a aim a certain self as well. You did have to oh and even further. Sean Here's each the pin in the tag match against OTM, which will lead to a further ascension. So overall, guys, pretty good show here. You do have all X's King retaining his championship. Jada and Ash, he have a nice confrontation. Whoa. So we'll have Ice sets up the tag, sets up the number one contendership for her NXT Women's Championship. Sorry, it's not a tag match, it's just singles, but in Annie Jordan and Kendall. I can see this being a triple threat match, but we'll see. And if that, guys, I'm going to end it here. 8 out of 10, pretty good show, and I'll see you all in the next video. Have a good one, stay safe, and enjoy the rest of your week. And remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel.